All right, it is 4:30. We'll call the meeting to order. The first item of business is election of the chair, please.
I would like to make that we have Mr. Bickford as our chair. I make a motion. Oh, we have to adjourn.
All right. It is vice chair.
Are there any nominations? Are you willing to accept?
Yeah.
The nominations will cease. All those in favor of Robbie Bickford as chair? Those opposed? Those abstained? It's unanimous. It's your meeting.
All right, great, thanks. Now I got this.
Okay.
Election of vice chair. Is anyone willing to do vice chair?
Looking at me.
We do it?
Do it.
All right, perfect. So I'll nominate her for vice chair. I need a second.
Got a second.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Any other nominations for vice chair? All right, I'll close those nominations. All those in favor? Great. Thank you. Appreciate that. Secretary, you generally serve as secretary.
I did until Jenny got done. I did not until Jenny got done. I did last year. I can do it again. It's not too much.
Okay, so,
Pass over.
yeah, can we appoint you? Do you need a motion to appoint you as secretary?
I'll second that.
All right, great. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from October 17th, 2022.
I'll second that. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were doing it.
I'll entertain a motion.
Oh, you'll entertain. Okay, I get that. I'll make a motion to accept the minutes as written from the last meeting.
I guess I'll second it.
Perfect.
You're here for seconding.
Any discussion? All those in favor? All right, unanimous. Discussion and action on the sewer payment policy.
This is an annual policy that's countersigned by the select board. It pretty much says that your oldest payments will be paid, or your oldest bills will be paid first, and then there's the cash or certified fund window, where you won't take anything but cash or certified funds on lien notices or whatnot. It also does restrict the use of credit cards, not debit cards, but credit cards, in that window as well. We'll take a debit card.
What's the rationale behind not taking a credit card for any of these things?
We'll take credit card for any payment unless you're in a window to lien. And the premise behind it initially, when we started taking cards, was that people putting it on a credit card at 20 some odd % interest potentially, it's really not what's wise, and that we would probably be better off working with them or accruing interest at the rate set by the town.
That seems legitimate.
Okay, so do you need a motion to approve that? Or do we just sign it?
Please.
We need to make a motion to approve it.
Yep.
Okay, so I will entertain a motion to approve the sewer payment policy presented by Richard.
I will second it.
Okay, I'll move to approve it. Second, done. All right, any discussion? Any discussion on this? All right, all those in favor? Unanimous?
Got messed up, so we'll sign on the right side, below the first one,
Sign below this first one.
please.
All right. Review financial statements while we're signing.
So these are pretty close to the same financials that you saw at the last meeting that was not held because of the lack of quorum. We did spend on the electricity charges and then also lab fees. One thing to note that since your last meeting, we had talked informally about electric rates. We were able to lock in at 12 cents for 24 months. So that was a pretty good cut. And obviously the sewer department will be the big beneficiary of that, where it's a large user. So that's a 24-month hold there. The only other pivot is we now went from about a break even at the last meeting to showing a departmental loss. It's down 3,940. And I think that just had to do with the cycling commitment, with bills not having gone out yet.
Okay.
So.
Oh, okay.
So we're still doing well, like essentially where we want to be.
I believe so,
Adjustment.
yep, I believe so.
Our last conversation.
Yep.
Great, do you need us to accept those or? Alright, so next item on your expansion of lab charges, do you wanna talk on that or we?
Oh, just that I had expanded it out, that was one of the concerns at the last meeting, so if there are any questions about that, we could take it, but I itemized those out because it was just a single line item for the last meeting.
Thank you. Alright, any other financials? Cool. Public comment. Thank you for the comment. Discussion and action on wastewater network map digitization.
So I added this on, I didn't have a chair, so I can put pretty much whatever I want on the agenda. In talking with Water District, Robbie was able to secure a grant for the Water District, to hopefully digitize, put onto our GIS mapping system, the water lines. There is a benefit to a discount if we do the sewer lines, which we wanted to do back a while when we first, converted over to GIS mapping, the computer-based mapping system of property. And it was just kind of seems cost prohibitive, but we're finding more and more value to that. With the Water District moving on it, we thought it might be an opportune time for that. Knowing that the fund isn't terribly healthy at the sewer department, that we could consider leveraging TIF. It's the economic development, and we can request that from them. We often, it gets lumped in and it's like, oh, well, how is that economic development? But it's things that serve our downtown, whether it's the fire protection and the contribution from TIF to the fire station, things like that. So I think that's a reasonable ask from them. So it's probably gonna be in the ballpark of 20, maybe 25,000. I don't think it'll be that high. But I wanted to get your idea, and then Robbie can probably pick up about the project. He's been a little bit more involved with it than I have been. Whether you found value in that, and if that was something I should ask the TIF committee.
Can we talk about the project, what we're doing? So I work at the Water District in Waterville, and we have a digital map. I love digital maps and cell phones, and it's basically Google Maps, right? A little bit more complicated than that, but we have all the water mains, all the valves, all the service boxes, all laid out, set up on this basically map that you can see really easily where everything is. It's private, it's secure, it's not like it's open to everyone. But we use it every single day, from someone complaining, I get a customer complaint talking about red water. I can go on the map, see what main they're on, see where their valve is, see all this information about, when we replace parts and all this stuff. So I applied for a grant through the drinking water program. It's a 75% grant. I got a quote for $35,000 to do the work for the Water District. It's 75% grant through the drinking water program for us. We're getting proposals, and I've seen everything from 50,000 to 800 for the work. So there's so many grants involved, so we can have discussion offline about where we're going, what we've seen, I guess, so far. So yeah, I think there's a lot of value in it. I think it's gonna help Tim in the operations of stuff. Locates, it's gonna be a lot faster. You're not gonna have to pull up your tie card. You're gonna be able to go on the map. You're gonna see it. You're gonna be able to identify it. Manholes, everything's gonna be GPS located. I think that it's worth every penny that you invest in a system like this. And then it saves it on a network. If it's a fire, you can also save it on backup copies. It's a lot more secure. I think there's a lot of value in this. I think we should go through it if we can get TIF money or potentially other grant options that I've found recently. So I think we should have Richard look more into it. And then potentially, do you want us to go through to TIF and write the application, or doesn't that?
There is no application. I had penciled it in on their agenda for tomorrow.
Okay, great.
So we don't have to have anything written formally, you just talk to them about it?
My thought was if you, as a board, wanted it, I would express that to them. We know that things are gonna start happening with the Water District, getting prices back here in the next couple of weeks.
Do May 2nd.
Right, so long before the next TIF committee meeting, so I wanted to get something in front of them to get a bellwether as to their support.
Okay.
Or not.
Should we come to the meeting?
You don't have to, if you want to, you can, it's tomorrow night.
Okay.
Back-to-back meetings, I mean,
Okay. Cool, so is anyone opposed to looking more into this, if it's,
You're supportive
all
of the
for
project,
it.
I think is the.
yeah, I guess that's right, do we wanna, yeah, so we supportive of
Yes.
digitizing our maps?
I think it would be great.
Makes sense.
We use it a lot.
John, you got anything?
Place.
Feel all right about that?
Yeah.
Cool, anything good with that, so I think we're gonna direct you to talk to Tiff about it, what time is the meeting?
Tiff meets at 4.
Okay, I'll see if I can make it, I can talk about the project more. So, all right, other business,
You wanna talk warranty?
also, that was for us.
Tell us about your extended warranty.
Yeah, I talked to Heights, I put it on my truck, so I asked them what it would cost to put it on our town pickup truck. And it's, what was it, 25.96 for an additional 6 years. Bumper to bumper. We do the work, if Heights does the work, it's no deductible.
Oh, really?
If anybody else does it, it's $200 deductible, so.
Okay.
Just something to think about. We spent, what, 29,000 for that truck? Roughly
When did we purchase them?
7/19.
20. 10/8/20 we bought it.
Okay,
So we've got till then. We don't have to do this until the 36 month, 3 year, whatever it is, the 36,000 miles, yeah. We don't have to do it till October anyway, but something to think about. Or our original warranty runs out.
great. And it's bumper to bumper.
I was reading through some of these, I mean, it's all exceptions, but most of them are standard transmissions and exclusions, there's a bunch of them there, but there's nothing really that. I'm gonna read through it a little closer.
This is
The fine
basically,
print,
Yeah,
this is basically an extended warranty.
extended warranty on the,
Yeah. I had one on a pickup truck. Unless the part broke, they wouldn't warranty it.
you mean
That's my personal feelings about it.
not just if it failed, it had to break.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know, I know that I've heard good and bad, so I think it's kind of 6 of one, half dozen of another, I think. I'm gonna defer to Richard and Tim and say, make a recommendation, what do you want?
I was gonna
doesn't
ask.
come out of my pocket, so I don't care.
Oh.
Well, it does, it comes out of your tax money.
It comes out of my tax money, right.
Yeah,
And when it
It's a
breaks,
gamble, you hope you never need it.
That's
Some of that electronic stuff they have now goes awry, and
And that's the thing, I mean, it's 2020, so it's fairly new, but it's a gamble, I don't
Yeah.
really.
Which is why we brought it to you.
I'm more in line
you're a
of,
gambler.
yeah, I'm more in line of not, and then fix it when it comes up. You know, how hard do we ride these trucks, how long do we plan on keeping this truck, is it gonna be a 6 year, I don't know, I mean. I know that. I'm not good at this stuff, I'm not good, what do you think? You've been around?
well, personally, I don't like extended warranties either. I'm of the same opinion. You're just throwing money out that you don't necessarily have to, but it is, if you've got problems with it, it'd be nice to have it covered.
Right.
I mean,
until something breaks, it pays for itself.
yeah, well,
That's the
generally.
thing, right?
Yeah,
Um,
well, we don't have to decide on this right now. We can
No, we gotta-
take it home and read the fine print.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it tomorrow.
Okay,
Okay.
but you said you got this on your own
I put it
truck and you're
online,
happy
yeah.
with it?
I'm hoping I never need it, but
Right.
Right.
Has anybody had it and used it in the past? An extended warranty? No?
I had
You
it,
have,
and I never got a dime out of it. All expenses were paid by me.
Yeah, I've never had it. I mean, my thought here is insurance companies don't lose money and they factor that in of the percentages of loss, so they're in it to make money, so you're, you know.
Yeah.
If something goes, you know, they know what the odds of something breaking are, and they're gonna charge more than the expected expense on that vehicle. So if you're playing statistics, it doesn't make sense.
They're in it to make money.
Right, but like you said, if you have it and it's wrong, and then you're like, oh, I'm so glad I had that. But if you don't, if it doesn't, you're like, I was wasted. So I don't know. Why don't you look into it? You tell us what you wanna do. We'll follow your lead, Tim.
Right? You're the one driving it, we'll leave
There you go.
Jen,
All right. Cool. Extended warranty, anything else? We have, I think other business is on the agenda. Other business.
No abatements or anything like that? That's good. That means we haven't messed up on billing. Yay.
What we did.
We did mess up on billing, but we don't bring it to you if it's a recordable error from water district.
Oh,
If
okay.
it's an error on our line, then that comes to you. Or if there's a discretionary adjustment, like we've seen in the past,
Yeah.
but it's been pretty quiet. We have not had any feedback for or against the increase. And so that rolled out well. And you don't want to say it, but I think it went over well, solely because people expected that it would go up.
And it was fairly marginal. I mean, it wasn't like a huge increase. It wasn't like 50%.
And it was a little bit of a mix shift at the same time, so you added a little bit to your base rate and you added a little bit to your consumption.
Right.
And so that was helpful. We're not seeing things go really erratic. And then the other thing that we're seeing in influx, just from your own perspective, if you weren't aware, the main housing program.
That's a wonderful
We've been
program.
seeing a lot of money come through.
That's good.
And the water, Kelly and the water district has been really promoting it. We sent a direct mail to all of our lean customers. And it didn't really happen. It was, you know, when you get the threat of water turn off, that she was able to get some of these people through the door, and all you had to do was write a sewer customer as well or something on there. So
That's something
we processed thousands of dollars in payments this morning.
good.
You know, $500. I think $500 was, and it was second, third payments for these folks.
Awesome.
To get ahead. I think what's happening is main housing is thinking that's like a monthly bill instead of a quarterly. But it is what it is.
We had the confusion. We're sending out mailings to all of our sewer customers because a lot of people thought it was just for water, the way it's written on the website, and it's in the fine print that you realize it's for sewer too. So to really make people aware of that. And the application is so simple. I've been helping people do it. It's ridiculous.
That's been helpful.
Yeah.
The rate increase.
Good. That's good that people are figuring that out, and we haven't heard any super negative feedback about the rate increase. That's good. I know, well, we have to. Everything else is going up.
I know.
So I think we try to be thrifty as best we can, and you're doing a great job with the treatment plant, so. Keep prices down, so that's good. Awesome.
we'll check a little out.
Right?
Yeah.
Quite a-
All right, well, that's it. I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Gladly second.
All right, all in favor? All right, thank you.